I hope it was staged. I hope it stays because sometimes people do hardcore. Some people do hardcore for wrestling.
I'm just really upset, disturbed by all of it, disturbed by what I saw.
I don't condone what my son did at all.
The wrestling world was shaken after Raja Jackson, son of UFC star Quentin Rampage Jackson, sparked major controversy during a Los Angeles show. What was supposed to be a scripted interruption turned violent when Jackson slammed and punched wrestler Stuart Psycho Stu Smith, leaving him severely injured. The shocking incident, caught on livestream, has led to a police investigation and Jackson's streaming ban.
Are you not partially to blame?
Do you think he wanted to continue beating up Stu?
I think he would have killed him.
If you didn't stop it, right?
I promise you he would have killed him. He would have killed me if he would have got the best of me.
After the chaos involving Raja Jackson, people were waiting to hear Douglas Malot's take on the incident. When he finally spoke, he didn't just talk about the attack itself. He made it clear that what really bothered him was how the whole situation was handled from the start. To him, this wasn't only about what happened inside the ring, it was also about the buildup, about how the wrong choices and lack of control allowed things to spiral.
Honestly, dude, I'm one of these people, like I believe in forgiveness. If Stu's not pressing charges, I believe that maybe they could work out a deal where he gets some mental health. If he has to spend time in jail, I hope it's very minimal. Yeah, sorry, I'm still at work. Yeah, you know, like because when this guy is trying to live up to his dad's reputation, you know, he's got these big things. And then you got a guy that's supposed to, you know, be a friend. And instead of being a mentor, you know, taking him back a second and saying, hey, bud, I know you're upset. I know you're mad. I know this happened. I feel like when you have somebody that's volatile, you see his dad's relationship, see how he interacts with his dad. And you can tell clearly he's insecure.
Still, Douglas didn't minimize the seriousness of what happened. He explained the intensity of the attack and the danger it created in real time. Even when others tried to step in, the sheer force of the strikes left them shaken and hurt. The way he described it made the moment feel as though it was on the verge of something far worse. His details about the injuries showed just how thin the line was between a shocking scene and a tragedy.
He'd be a stud, you know? Like, I'm pissed at what he did to my friend. I'm pissed for him punching me in the face. I'm pissed for him that when I went to take him off and told him to calm down, he tried to double leg me. Because if he would have double legged me, he would have done the same thing to me that he did to Stu. You know, he would have hurt me very badly. You know, like just one punch cut my eye open. He punches like a tank. You know, strong kid.
And even with everything that had gone wrong, Douglas closed with a sense of hope. He spoke calmly about Raja, not with hate, but with the idea that maybe this could be a turning point. He mentioned the importance of mental health, family guidance, and support, things that could lead to change instead of just punishment. In his view, the best outcome wouldn't just be justice for what happened, but a chance for growth on both sides. His words left people thinking less about revenge and more about what could come next if lessons were truly learned.
As well, what do you think should happen next? What should happen to Raja?
Yeah, it's difficult, you know, like vengeance isn't for me or anybody, it's for a higher power. But, you know, like I feel like he could help himself if he got some mental help. If he got some like family therapy done to work out something, because you heard the video when he was leaving, how all that pent up rage he had, you know? So hopefully whatever happens to him, it gets him the most help, you know, and there's some type of silver lining for him.
After Douglas's calm but powerful response, all eyes shifted to Rampage Jackson himself. As the father of Raja, people wanted to know how he would react to his son's actions. Not only was the attack itself live streamed, but Raja's own streaming audience had been provoking him earlier, and afterwards those same clips started spreading online, twisting the story even more. Rampage started by making it clear that he didn't condone what happened. He admitted he felt bad for Psycho Stu and his family, saying no one should have had to go through that, especially in front of a live audience. At the same time, he reminded people that he was still a father, and no matter what, he had to stand by his son. That balance between disappointment and loyalty shaped everything he said.
You know, it's hard for me to talk about it, but you know, I'm just keeping 100. You know, I feel bad about what happened to Psycho Stu. You know, I don't condone what my son did at all. Very, very unfortunate. If I was there, things went that, but you know what I'm saying? I wasn't there. But you know what I'm saying? I'm a father, so you know, I gotta have my son's back, but I'm gonna let justice, you know, play out, take its course. You know, ain't much I can do on that side, but be a father. You know what I'm saying?
What stood out was how careful he was with his words. He mentioned more than once that he couldn't get into details, that the situation had to play out legally, and that anything he said could be twisted. He even admitted he wasn't sure if he had already said too much. That hesitancy gave the impression of someone walking on a tightrope, wanting to be honest, but knowing he couldn't reveal everything.
And stuff like that, I can't really go into nothing. I hope y'all can respect that. You know what I'm saying? I can't say much about that shit. You know, it's really not my place to say anything, and we gotta let that shit play its course. The shit put me in like a bad mood. You know what I'm saying? I feel bad about Psycho Stu and his family. His family had to see that shit. You know what I'm saying? And
Rampage also pointed to the chaos that spread online after the incident. He called out the way clips were being edited for clicks, how people were posting misinformation, and how some even used it to show racist attitudes. He warned viewers not to believe every edit they see floating around, saying a lot of the story had already been distorted by outsiders chasing attention.
There you go. You know, I see a lot of people editing stupid shit for clickbaits and stuff like that, and I see a lot of comments. The intelligent people kind of figure out what was going on and stuff like that, but there's a lot of like people that believe everything they see, every clip and everything. People making views so they can make money and shit, and just posting any old thing and shit that's not even fucking remotely true, just to get clicks and shit like that, to make money and shit. That, you know, that's not fair. It's like,
even through the frustration, Rampage left the door open for some kind of reconciliation. He said he hoped one day he could meet Sicko Stu face to face, shake his hand, and have a man-to-man conversation. Whether or not that actually happens, the way he said it showed he wasn't just thinking about defending his son, he was also thinking about healing some of the damage left behind.
I can meet Psycho Stu and shake his hand and have a man-to-man with him and stuff like that, but who knows? But y'all.
After Rampage spoke, another voice jumped into the conversation and shifted things to a darker level, Wade Concept. Unlike Rampage, who focused on being a father, Wade dug into the details that suggested this wasn't just a random outburst, but something closer to a setup. He described the incident not as a situation, but as a straight-up assault, maybe even attempted murder, and said the story was getting worse by the minute.
Finding out in real time how much worse this Raja Jackson situation, I hesitate to call it a situation because it's flat-out assault, potentially attempted murder, but the entirety around that, the situation that's going on and the information that's coming out around it, is getting worse by the minute. A lack of control at the top of a professional wrestling company. Cowardice and potentially setup and manipulation going on within the same locker room, within the same walls as the assault.
One of the most shocking points Wade shared came from Douglas Mallow, once again, the man who physically pulled Raja off Sicko Stu. According to Doug, Stu's injuries were even more brutal than first reported. He had multiple broken facial bones, lost teeth, and even choked on his own blood after the attack. Wade emphasized that Stu had to be placed in an induced coma, which was a detail that hadn't been widely known until Doug revealed it.
What actually happened to Stu? How bad are his injuries?
Broken facial bones is from what I'm hearing. Missing teeth. He has no recollection of what happened. Incoherent. And then even from the people closest to it now that I'm disassociating with, they won't even put up the full story. Stu's pretty fucked up, I'll put it this way. What happened yesterday is he choked on his own blood.
On his own teeth, I heard.
Yeah, teeth and blood.
And he lost all of his teeth, right?
A lot of them, yeah. Broken facial bones.
Wade also pointed fingers beyond Raja. He said the wrestling company itself showed signs of knowing something bad might happen. Doug explained that backstage, he was told to stay ready, just in case things with Raja got out of control. That alone raised questions. Why bring Raja into the match at all if people already suspected trouble? Wade called it cowardice at the top of the company, saying they allowed a dangerous situation to unfold instead of stepping in and stopping it.
Because from what I understand, you weren't part of that match, that segment. How did you end up out there in the middle of the ring during this match?
I just got done with my match. I was blown up, took the heat, did the shit. Then I get a whisper by somebody, hey, something is not right. I might need you to go out there and check a scenario. This guy's going to do a spot. When does the spot happen? Oh, we'll let you know. We'll let you know. Well, you want to let me know, but like, you're not telling me when the cue is, when is the spot supposed to happen. You're just going to let me know just in case. All right, so I'm stuck waiting for this cue. I walk out to somebody with the radio. I said, hey, talk to the back. When do you guys want me to go? What's happening? I was informed about the beer can incident. Actually, shortly before that, they told me that they, made up, shook hands, hugged it out multiple times. So it was going to be fine.
Then came an even darker twist. Wade highlighted a clip of Raja's so-called friend, the same man who brought him to the venue. In that clip, he can be heard telling Raja to give Sicko Stu a receipt, which in wrestling language means payback with real violence. To Wade, this was no coincidence. He argued that this friend had his own problem with Stu and used Raja as a weapon to settle it. That, Wade said, made the whole thing feel premeditated rather than spur of the moment.
Was sitting outside with Stu and the other wrestlers having a good time laughing it up, and was there to tell Stu, hey, he's not a worker, it's okay, let's break it up. Mr. Rhinestone Cowboy sitting there like he was the arbiter of justice in the whole situation. Then you find this clip of him talking to Raja Jackson.
Working like that, you don't fucking,
that's what I'm saying.
But he doesn't tell him like that. He don't. He's a fucking idiot. Hey. So when you run in on his shit, you fucking give him his receipt. You remember what a receipt is? Give him that fucking receipt, bro. Tag his shit. If you got a fucking problem with it, I'll fucking run out there.
So first off, this guy's a piece of shit. Talking about when you're working, you don't hit him with the can over the head. Okay, if that's what you believe, that's fine. But right after that, that was apologized for. Because Psycho Stu didn't know who Raja was. Thought Raja was a part of the show.
Finally, Wade tied it back to Rampage in a way that made listeners pause. He played clips of Rampage joking with his son on the phone, teasing him about hugging men in tights. To most, it might have sounded like harmless ribbing, but Wade suggested it only added fuel to Raja's frustrations that his livestream chat was already stirring up in real time. The result, Wade argued, was a perfect storm. A volatile young man pushed on by his peers, his own father's words, and a live audience egging him on.
Single bit of what happened, including, and this is why I wanted to bring up Rampage. This is Rampage talking to his son while Raja's getting rage baited by his own chat. His father calls him and decides to join in on the action versus being like, hey, you need to calm down, turn off your live stream, I need to come and talk to you. Hey, I am your father, and no matter what these faceless, nameless people are saying on your smartphone, you need to listen to me. This is getting out of hand, or you're being manipulated by people you don't even know, and you and I need to have a discussion. We need to stop this streaming stuff. But that's not even the relationship they even have. If you've seen some of the clips between Rampage and Raja, and we'll just watch this one for an example.
Hey, yo, did you get jumped by a bunch of dudes in tights?
You said what?
You was hugging on a dude in some damn tights.
Man,
man, you shut the fuck up. I looked at your stream, nigga, you was hugging on some dude in some booty.
Again, I tried.
After Wade Concept laid out how the attack might have been set up, fitness coach and YouTuber Greg Doucette added his own voice to the controversy. Unlike Rampage, who spoke carefully as a father, and Wade, who pieced together behind-the-scenes details, Greg's reaction came with blunt outrage. He didn't hold back, calling the assault not just shocking, but something close to attempted murder.
You know what? I just thought about it. I'm gonna pick him up, I'm gonna slam him, I'm gonna let him get back up, then I'm gonna hit him. How about that?
We seen the footage.
I get the chance to go in there and now really pick him up.
Broken facial bones is from what I'm hearing. Missing teeth. Has no recollection of what happened.
This isn't a movie, this is real life.
It's always been my dream to pick up a pro wrestler for real.
Greg repeated some of what we'd already heard: Stu's broken facial bones, missing teeth, memory loss, and even choking on his own blood. What made Greg's commentary stand out was how hard he went after the wrestling school itself. He read out messages allegedly sent to students telling them not to talk to police or even comment online. Basically instructions to keep quiet and fly low. To Greg, that was disgusting. Proof that management wasn't protecting wrestlers, but protecting themselves. He flat out accused them of trying to cover up a crime.
Exactly what this is. Doug is speaking out for everyone.
But the most disgusting thing is that people at this school are being encouraged to not cooperate with the police.
And so upper management is trying to keep this quiet, trying to prevent people from participating in this investigation of the police. I'm reading. Please refrain from engaging in comment sections on social media posts about this tragedy. It will be weaponized in potential criminal and civil cases. Fly low. If law enforcement or an attorney for the suspect contacts you in any capacity, let someone here know right away for guidance on how to address them. Hashtag everyone. Are we trying to cover this up? Are we really trying to prevent the police from doing a proper investigation? I mean, really.
It's always been my dream to fuck up a pro wrestler for real. So I get it today.
Finally, Greg placed some of the blame beyond Raja. He pointed to the toxic mix of influences: Rampage joking about wrestling, Raja's friend AJ allegedly urging him to deliver a receipt, and an online chat that cheered him on like it was a video game. Greg said when fans typed things like "punch him harder" or "give him one for me," their hands were dirty too. They weren't just spectators. They were fueling a real beating that nearly killed a man.
Well, I know his chat was like gassing him up too, leading up to it, which we've talked about.
Another reason why live streaming is toxic.
Yeah.
Just goes to show.
To think that the people that were watching this were gassing him up. Yeah. In the chat, you go get him. Go punch him harder than last time. Give him one for me. People are so used to watching movies that they think that life is a script. And so we think that social media is fake, but it's actually real life. There are real people with real emotions, real feelings, real families, and they have to deal with the consequences.
At the end of the day, situations like this show how quickly things can change and how much they impact not just the people involved, but everyone watching too. What happens next will be interesting to see, but for now, let's hear what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments below.